We have some major updates of mixed martial arts, starting with the news. Michael Bisping goes off on Jake Paul after his win over Mike Perry. It seems people are upset with Jake Paul. Recently, after defeating Mike Perry, Jake challenged Alex Pereira to a fight, which Alex accepted. However, the fighting community doesn't seem happy with Jake Paul over his opponents. Recently, Conor McGregor, along with several other fighters and fans, has trolled him. Michael Bisping expressed his frustration in a video titled, "Jake the Fake Paul," where he explained why no one respects Jake and why people are upset with him. See what Michael Bisping actually said.
And if he is the king of boxing, if he owns this sport like he says, why isn't he fighting in the fight capital of the world? Because there is real commissions. Why isn't he fighting real boxers? Because they were all smoking. Why isn't he fighting somebody his size, who has an extensive amateur and then professional boxing record? You're all going to say, oh, look at Bisping losing his mind. He's so annoyed. No. Anyone that can't see this, you are a fool. It is an embarrassment to all the people that lace up a pair of gloves as a young boy, that go through the amateur rankings, then turn professional and do it the proper way. Listen, fair play, he's gaming the system. He's gaming the system. He's got the support. He's got the following and he's making money. Can't hate on him for that. But this talk of being the most dangerous person, of owning the sport of boxing, yeah, he's a draw. He's a draw to a bunch of 12-year-olds, prepubescent Disney boys, okay? And if that's what he wants to be, fantastic. But if he ever wants the respect of the fight community, then he's got to take on a real challenge. And when he does that, he will have my respect. But until then, Mike Perry's a tough guy. Mike Perry's a brawler. But Mike Perry was half his bloody size. And as I said, I never realised until I saw him in the ring. And I think everyone can agree with that. He was twice the size, right? McGregor's talking about steroids. He looked very, very red. Maybe he was sunburned. Maybe he was outside. But it does kind of make the complexion of the skin go red. And McGregor does bring up a great point about fighting in Las Vegas. But still, for Jake Paul, for him to achieve what he did, yeah, beating Mike Perry. He beat him fair and square. And for that, well done. Congratulations. And then to call out Alex Pereira, that's definitely not going to happen. And then in the same breath, continue to call out Mike Tyson, 58 years old. It is absolutely laughable. But still, hey, look, listen, Jake Paul, he proved me wrong. He did. I thought Mike Perry was going to be able to do it, but I was wrong. I was wrong, but I still stand by what I said. The man's not going to get the respect of the fight community. If you're looking at me and thinking I'm a hater, I'm jealous. That's not the case at all. It's just you can see, if you know the fight game, if you follow the fight game, if you're a part of the fight game and you're in the community, you can see that this is not rigged, but it's rigged in his favor. And until he takes on a real challenge, then it's hard to respect.
Shavkat Rakhmonov rejects Garry call-out. After winning against Venom Page at UFC 303, Garry now has his sights set on the #1 welterweight fighter. Recently, Garry called out Shavkat, expressing his desire to fight in December, but Shavkat declined, stating 100% finish rate versus 53% finish rate. It won't even be close if it happens. This clearly indicates that Shavkat is open to fighting any of the top 5 fighters in the welterweight division in the future. Let's see what happens next. Renato Moicano and Gilbert Burns go viral for mocking Joe Biden. Moicano and Gilbert Burns recently posted their new podcast where they talk about various things. During the conversation about American politics, the Brazilian asked Burns a hilarious question about a hypothetical fight between US President Joe Biden and Hezbollah. See who he thinks won in the Biden versus Hezbollah fight.
Now look, the real question. Who wins in a fight, Hezbollah or Joe Biden?
The easy win for Hezbollah, bro. Easy win.
So how many Joe Bidens to defeat Hezbollah? That's a good question. That's a fair question. Five Joe Bidens can beat Hezbollah?
I don't think so.
Logically.
I think 15.
15? To beat one Hezbollah?
They're so slow, bro.
I think you're tripping, my brother.
MMA Community reacts to Leon Edwards' amazing body transformation. There's less than a week left until UFC 304, and both fighters, Bilal and Leon Edwards, are in excellent shape. Recently, during an interview, the MMA community noticed Bilal's impressive body transformation. Likewise, a photo of Leon Edwards' body transformation, shared by his partner, also caught attention. First, take a good look at this photo. Here's how MMA community react, and that's why Leon Edwards has the most aesthetic physique. If it wasn't for his shyness, he would probably be a star. Him and Bilal both is fire. Gonna be such a good card. All these roids and big muscles just to be a decision merchant. Bilal by knockout. I know that with weight cutting and nutrition becoming more and more central to MMA coverage, posts like these are unavoidable. But honestly, it has become a pet peeve of mine when fighters like to show off how good a shape they are and like fitness influencers. Just don't cheat this time around. This is going to be an incredible fight. Jake Paul reveals why he called out UFC champion Alex Pereira after beating Mike Perry. Paul wants to fight Alex, but since Pereira is under contract with the UFC, it might not happen unless he can get released from his contract. Paul hopes Alex can convince UFC CEO Dana White to let him fight. Paul believes beating Pereira would be a big deal and prove his skills against top MMA fighters. However, Dana White probably won't allow it because it's too risky for the UFC if Paul wins. Paul is determined to face the best MMA fighters and show he can beat them. During the post-fight press conference, Jake Paul told reporters that all Alex has to do is get out of his UFC deal to make the fight a reality, Paul said at a post-fight news conference. I love this sport. He's tweeted about wanting to go into boxing. We got him on the FaceTime right there in the ring. I said, yo, can you get out of your contract? If he can get out of his contract, then let's run it. When I asked him that, he had a pause. He looked at his manager, Ed Soares. These guys aren't their own bosses. I want all the smoke.
I love this sport. And, you know, he's tweeted about wanting to go into boxing. We got him on the FaceTime right there in the ring. And I said, yo, can you get out of your contract? If he can get out of his contract, then let's run it. And so when I asked him that, he had a pause. He like looked at his manager. You know, these guys aren't their own bosses. So I want all the smoke, but at the end of the day, will Dana let him out? That's too big of a risk if I could embarrass his #1 praised fighter right now. But I want all the smoke. I want all the MMA guys, and I've beaten all of them. Who's next? He's the king right now of the UFC, so I want him. I'm going to decapitate him and dethrone him.
And just to be clear, right, it was Anthony Joshua that said Pereira should enter the boxing ring. Pereira said, I'm honored, I would love to, who should I fight? Right, and when Jake saw that, he said, hey, he should fight me. And we said, well, he signed to the UFC. And that was the basis of that discussion.
Conor McGregor shared a clip of girls chasing him after making some bold tweets about the Mike Perry versus Jake Paul fight. McGregor shared a clip where we can see girls chasing him. Check this.
Baby. Come out for the queen, stroll in, I'm beautiful in my bag. Bare knuckle, baby. Bare knuckle, baby. Bare